Yeah, I mean, yeah, I'm
There.
behind the fireplace that we don't use. We're not going to use in general. We don't use fireplace, so there's really no point.
Yeah.
Is it
Why don't
blocked
you
up at least
start
so
a
Yeah,
fire?
animals can't get inside of it?
yeah, it's fine. It's blocked up. I believe that it's probably this side or
It
the
is
top side somewhere in here is blocked, or at least the lower
cage.
part is sealed
Well,
Cage around it.
when we
Yep.
adjust it. Yeah,
that's don't
Nice.
want
but
no
we
raccoons get inside your fireplace and just dying
true.
inside of it.
Yeah, but in general though, we don't have like Well, actually, we do have raccoons, but they're not very common around here. It's either
That's
mostly
fair.
either rabbits or bunnies or birds in general
Yep.
around here.
Interesting.
Yeah.
All right. Let's do it.
All right.
3, 2, 1. Hello, and welcome back to another episode of the Irresponsible Comic Book Podcast. My name is Evan, the producer. I'm here with Wildcard William and our resident expert Dylan. And today we are talking about episode 5 of Loki. It is titled something about an adventure. I don't know, mystery thing. I don't know. What's the actual title? It's like
Mystery
the
something.
the adventure through mystery or something like that. I think is what it is. It's such a weird title. I just saw that and I was like, as I was like going to watch, I was like, what the fuck? Why'd they title it that?
It's the mystery.
Yeah.
Journey into mystery.
The journey,
Okay,
sorry,
okay.
not adventure. The journey into mystery.
Into mystery.
And I guess it's a really good metaphor in general for comic books because you know you never know what's going to happen with a character after they die because they're seemingly not dead, and that's literally all Loki is in Marvel Cinematic Universe. And again, even though they've died when they got pruned, they're not dead at all. And yeah, it's a mystery where they went and a mystery into
Technically,
what's
they're
gonna
still.
happen.
Yeah, well, technically they're not dead, but they just go to the planet where they have to die,
Yeah, it's
which is Planet Prune.
ironically, I don't understand how I didn't get the connection between like the sticks glowing the same way that like the little reset charges work, and that like they probably just got sent to wherever that was.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why I didn't ever think of that. Like we obviously like when we watched Loki die, we're like, oh my god, but then in the back of our heads we're like, yeah, he's not dead. I don't understand how I didn't get that connection sooner until I watched this episode though. How do you guys feel about that? Do you guys think that did you guys catch that at all? Like that notion that like, oh, this is probably the same sort of function as a reset charge.
Well,
Or
yeah, I thought that like
okay,
from the
Yeah.
start,
yeah, maybe I'm
but
just
like
stupid.
it's smaller technology, of course.
Oh
Like
yeah,
I think maybe the reason why you were getting it is because it doesn't glow purple like the
yeah,
reset charges do.
yeah,
Yeah.
just the yellow. So
But I don't know. I don't know.
yeah, I don't know. I didn't get that till then. But anyways, so we start off exactly where we end off, just like every other episode in this series. There's no jumping around. We just go straight to uh, Sylvie interrogating Renslayer and saying, "Hey, what the heck's going on?" We jump to Loki over in Prune Planet, if that's what we're gonna call it.
Planet Prune sounds
Yeah,
like
it
a
is.
good planet.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
technically, if we want to be,
The-
just so you guys know, it's the Domain of Alioth for the viewers, but we're gonna call it the
Yep.
Prune Planet because we like it better. But it's the Domain
Planet
of
Prune.
Planet Prune. But you know, it's the Domain of Alioth, who's the giant creature from this that we see at the end of episode 4, like the overwhelming shadow that's all scary, and then again throughout this episode 5. Did he disconnect or just his camera?
I think somebody came in, so he's.
Oh, okay. Anyways, so we are jumping back and forth between Sylvie and Loki on Planet Prune for the first little bit, and then ultimately, Sylvie gets her back turned on Renslayer, because
Yep.
you know that's what you do when you think you're cool like that, I guess. And they were working together initially to figure out who was behind the TVA, and it seems like Renslayer genuinely doesn't actually know. I think we all kind of guessed, and probably a majority of the community has guessed, that Renslayer was actively working for Kang and she knew, but it seems to me like she doesn't so far. Um, we'll have to.
I think she just put like in love with ruse, pretty much. I think she's just trying to like catch us off guard, saying, "No, I didn't know any of this."
Yeah, no, that's.
But I think she knows. She knows.
There's a chance.
She might know like deep down, but I don't like. She's acting like somebody who is trying to figure everything out, so she can kind of take over.
Yeah, seems pretty oblivious to like who it actually is. She's asked like when she was talking to Miss Minutes earlier, she was like, "Oh, hey, I need to know who like created the TVA because they're in danger," kind of thing. Like she wouldn't be asking Miss Minutes that question if she knew it was Kang. Like if she like knew Kang personally. So I don't think she knows him up to this point, and we'll probably see them get introduced. I think that she'll still like work for him, obviously.
So let's not forget she was also kind of like stalling a little bit of time for
Yeah, she
for the
was.
time for the guards to come in and try to stop Sylvie.
Yeah,
Yeah.
my first thought was, how is she in this room all by herself? Where's the guards?
Yeah, right.
Like,
Yeah, it's
and then-
crazy.
and then when Renslayer was like, "Oh no, check for the end of time. No, wait, the beginning of time. Oh no, remember that experimental spacecraft that we
spaceship?
have?"
It's also
Like,
like
I was
Miss
like,
Minutes
she's
suggested
just stalling
too.
time. Yeah.
Miss
Yep.
Minutes was like, "Oh, I can look up this thing if you'd like."
Yeah.
Yeah, she was just stalling. She was calling in the guards. Obviously, she probably has some sort of panic button that got him in there. But
Well, Miss Minutes is connected to all their like.
that too.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's like a safe word. Miss Minutes has a safe word. Confirmed. Just kidding.
Whoa.
Pineapple.
Pineapple.
It's secret time ship.
Yeah. It's time ship.
No. Secret time shit.
Anyways, so then
Quantum
obviously
spacecraft.
those guards come in, and Sylvie goes. The what's really cute is she's like, "Don't you have like a good memory you'd like want to enjoy?" And she's like, "Yeah, one," which is probably them sitting down on the planet with the moon crashing into it. That's her only good. That's her only good memory.
Yeah.
And so she stands up, prunes herself, and everyone's kind of like, "She just did that." And then she's like, "I guess she did."
All right.
And
Yeah, I guess
then,
the case closed.
yeah.
Yeah, she ensured that she had a temp pad, and then she was like,
She's
"Well,
like-
fuck it, I'm pruning myself. They're not gonna help me."
Yep.
Like-
Exactly. And then they go, and obviously she ends up spawning right next to, which is horrible placing, to be honest, horrible timing, right next to Alioth, as he comes down to swallow her whole, or whatever he does. I don't know how he chooses to kill his victims.
Well,
Sometimes
if
he
you
strokes
notice
them
that they
out.
showed it a couple times, that he just shows up wherever something comes in.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
So like even when Loki came in, he had to start running because Alioth was on his way.
Yeah.
Like
Yep. Absolutely.
when the big ship came in that was like trying to fight back against Alioth, like he showed up like instantaneously.
Yep.
Yep.
Like
Yeah, so the thing is it only appears to Elias seems to like have this like focus on like bigger or more dangerous threats, and I think it says something specifically about Sylvie that like he was there instantly for her, whereas like he was a little bit ways away when Loki came. And that she's she's the real deal. Which
Yeah, I'm
we
also-
already know, but
kind of interested in. I wish they wouldn't have cut as much as they did out of this episode.
yeah.
They clearly cut a whole bunch of it out
Oh yeah.
because they said that Kid Loki was the ruler of this domain.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And then
Supposedly.
President Loki and all of his fellow
And
Lokis,
Yep.
Yep.
because like almost every single one of them was Lokis.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They like came in, but like when they left, Kid Loki had that little device.
Yep.
And that device was basically allowing him to like pinpoint like where things came in at.
Yep.
and that's why they were able to like send that ship and be like, hey, when that big thing comes down, we're gonna sneak behind it and blah blah blah, and then Alioth just destroyed the ship like instantaneously.
Yeah.
But like Kid Loki did that a couple times in the show. I want to know how they got that
Yeah.
device to be able to control that, because
There's seemingly no technology and nothing survives there. So where do you get that from? Like, did he steal that from a TVA guard before they pruned him? Like, who knows what? Yeah.
did he just like create it, and then
Yeah.
how could they not like leave with Mobius with that device
I
and
don't
the
know.
temp pad that Mobius has? Like Mobius just opened up a fucking portal and walked through it. We don't know where he went.
Well, the thing
Back
is,
to the
is
TVA.
technically
We
it's,
assume it's back to the TVA, but they also said in the episode that you can't just leave this place.
yeah.
Mhm.
Well, that's the thing is like there's no
Well,
technology
technically, you can't leave
that
this- you
exists
can't- you
in
can't
that
leave the place.
There's nothing
You
there
can't
to
leave the
get
place.
you out of there. Like there's no
Exactly.
Like, there's no temp pad that you could just create or build. You know what I mean? Like,
Exactly.
there's no
Mm.
sort of technology to like teleport you out of there. It's like a sub-dimensional reality, but it still exists in time, and so like it doesn't surprise me that Mobius uses that temp pad. I understand like your concern. Like, wait, didn't they just say like you're not allowed to like leave this place, and then he just walks out like unscathed?
With a temp pad, it's
Yeah.
like, yeah.
I think it's
like-
somewhere on the timeline still that like, I mean,
Well,
it's
I don't
a
know,
can
like, it-
take you anywhere, you know.
it would just make sense to me if you're allowed to go in, but not allowed to leave. So even with the
Yeah.
temp pad, like,
Like a
and
prison.
him opening up the portal, it allows him to go into the portal, but it doesn't.
Portals and back out somewhere else
Yeah,
in that
I don't know.
prison sort of.
Like they're
sense.
probably not going to do that, but
No, yeah,
he's probably he's more than likely going to show back up into the TVA, and then, like he said, going to burn it down to the ground.
yeah. he
We're
is-
getting ahead of ourselves.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
you're right.
I mean,
Um,
everything doesn't have to be explained. Just go on, go with the
Yeah,
flow with it, pretty
yeah.
much.
Um,
At least in my
I want it.
opinion.
I want it all explained.
we'll
I
get
want
One
the
of those, yeah.
logistics and the science behind everything.
the science.
I mean, it's fair. I mean, it's fair, but still, though, you know, everything doesn't have to be explained. You know, everything's just like a little minor part, and then everything's gonna play to a bigger part, a more important things, pretty much.
Yeah.
You know.
So yeah, for whatever reason, they're still able. I mean, like any of them could have left through the temp pad and gone to just like destroy the TVA, but that doesn't ultimately solve the problem that they're trying to get to. That
Yeah.
Sylvie solved. That like, hey, Alioth is guarding something, you know,
Someone.
or yeah, the person who created it more specifically. They're
Mhm.
guarding that person and whatever is beyond the end of time, and it was a really good analysis and guess of where this guy's hiding, obviously, because it's literally what Sylvie has done her whole life. So like she just knows.
Mm-hmm.
So then they decide to enchant Alioth. They do successfully, which is very, very impressive. He just parts like the Red Sea, and then they just walk towards this. You were saying it's probably a castle or a mansion or something like that.
It looks more like a prison to me after looking at some of those
Yeah,
screen grabs and stuff. But
yeah, whatever is beyond the end of time, and we've been talking a little bit about what that is and why it's there and what happens afterwards. So if we want, we can get into that. Is there anything else we missed that's big? There was like a lot of like little subplot things that don't really matter, like President Loki getting his hand bit off by Gator Loki. That was funny.
that
I
might
mean,
have been a nod to Captain Hook.
Well,
Yeah,
it's,
probably.
it's a nod to Captain Hook, but also all of Phase 3, because in every show, somebody lost a hand. So
Oh,
yeah, every
Okay.
movie, somebody lost a hand. So it was like in
what?
like
And in
lost a
every movie, somebody lost a
or
hand.
every
What?
I'm pretty sure. I'm not
I
kidding.
don't-
Yeah, no, seriously, let's look it up. For real. Like this
Okay.
is like a thing they
Alright.
did purposefully, is like a nod to Star Wars. So
Star Wars
Phase-
or Marvel.
No, it's a Marvel
Oh,
did
for,
this
like,
nod
Luke and-
to like
and
Luke and
Vader.
Darth Vader.
Okay.
Phase 3 Marvel hands is what I'm gonna Google. So Um, who all loses their hands?
Uh, I know what's his face loses his hand in uh,
So
Infinity War.
even like Agent Coulson loses his arm. Um,
Yeah.
so Claw, Ulysses S. Claw,
Yep.
loses their arm in Age of Ultron. Then you have, let's see here. Here's a list of everyone who loses their arm. So Claw, um, Izzy from Agents of Shield, Stick from Daredevil has to cut off his own hand. Groot, but you know, that regrows. Nebula, Phil Coulson got his arm chopped off. Bucky. This is all just all the characters. Thor loses his arm, like fakes gets cut off. Malekith.
Okay, so I got a good list here. So in Iron Man 3,
Yeah,
it's Aldrich Killian.
Yeah, there we go.
In Thor: The Dark World, Loki
Malekith.
cuts his own hand off. Well, Loki cuts Chris
Thor's.
Hemsworth's hand.
Yeah.
Yeah, Thor's hand off. Winter Soldier,
It's phase 2, not phase 3.
Captain
Soldier.
America, Winter Soldier, Bucky, and Captain America form a blah blah blah. Has revealed that I guess
And then
he lost his arm.
He also loses it again in Civil War. Like his arm gets blown
Yeah.
off.
Yeah.
Groot loses his hand, but it grows back in Guardians of the Galaxy.
So it's phase 2 that they all lost. And then
Ulysses Claw
Ant-Man
loses his hand.
Jacket.
Ant-Man and the Yellow Jacket. Yep. Civil War loses his arm again.
Yep. So it's Bucky twice. It's a phase 2, not phase 3. I don't know why I thought it was phase 3. But even like during that phase 2, there's like the Inhuman storyline where Phil Coulson goes to he accidentally touches one of the whatever crystals. What are they called? That turn you into an Inhuman. And he touches it.
Yeah,
he,
Terrigen
catches
crystals.
it. Yeah, Terrigen crystal. He touches it and grabs it before it hits the ground, shatters, and affects everybody in the room. So he grabs it successfully, but then he starts to go into the Terrigenesis, and so then Mac, he's one of the, I don't know if you guys watched Agents of Shield.
Yeah, his shotgun. Axe.
He has his shotgun axe, and he chops it off, and he's like,
Yeah. Something like that.
and then he gets a
don't
robotic
know.
arm.
I don't remember too much of it, but yeah. I know what you mean.
Well, that's not canon anymore, sir.
Yeah.
And that was ABC, anyways.
Yeah, but
True.
that was all during phase 2, so it was a nod to the whole Star Wars thing. But even
Okay.
then, that's probably a nod back to that kind of stuff, or they just wanted to do
Maybe.
it for fun.
I think that was more just a Peter Pan reference.
Okay, yeah.
Because Jack Veal is a young guy. He's trying to build this group of misfits.
Yeah.
And then a captain comes down and starts fighting.
Yep.
And then an alligator bites his hand off.
Yep.
I'm pretty sure it's just a Peter Pan reference.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Which makes me wonder if there's other Disney movie references, like
That's something we could go
Snow
back and look
White
for.
and that kind of stuff.
Yeah, there's probably a ton of stuff we could
But-
catch if we go back to specifically look for that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, so to talk about kind of where we're going with this and Kane and whatever's going on with the multiverse of madness and what's going to happen in this last episode is something me and Dylan were talking about just a second ago, was the fact that the TVA is trying to mitigate everything that happens up to the end of time wherever Kang is hiding. And then after the end of time, things are controlled to all funnel into one reality. So the sacred timeline that the TVA is protecting isn't the one timeline that they're on. They're protecting the timeline that's being created still by the
Sure.
timekeepers, you know? So that's whatever Kang is creating in the future is like all the realities funneling into one, and then he's the main ruler from there on out, is what it seems like to me. And so everything that the TVA is doing to like control reality is just controlling things and keeping it balanced enough so that Kang doesn't have to deal with complications in the future, and he's the main ruler of the entire universe, the entire galaxy, or whatever it ends up being. Maybe just even Earth, but he's in charge of everything and the only ruler, and there's no complications because he's set things up foolproof that no one could ever, stop Alioth and get to him, or get past the TVA, stop Alioth, like he would never expect something like this because he doesn't think anyone could do
He
it.
does. Who knows?
I think he's probably cocky a bit. That like
I mean, he could be, but still, maybe he's just looking for a worthy adversary to say, who's gonna be this worthy people to
it could be
challenge me
that
or
too.
whatever, you know?
Yeah, he could be looking for a challenge too. You're not wrong. Um, but
I'm never wrong.
That's
Boom.
that's true. Also, you're never wrong. That's just what it seems like to me. Um, and so like obviously Renslayer's not part of the picture where she's like actually working in tandem with him. She knew maybe that I don't think I don't think she even knew that the timekeepers were fake up until the point that they died. Um, and so she's like looking for answers as well. So she'll be there, and I think she'll be on the side of Kang, like as like, oh my god, I want to know how you've done this. This is brilliant, kind of thing. Like admires him, and that's why they end up falling in love and becoming
Yep.
partners, and so that's how it seems like they're gonna play it out, and then that she'll have a big role, and they'll both have a big role in like Quantumania, and maybe not the only main villain of Phase 4 or 5, but probably one of the bigger, if not the biggest villain that the Avengers have to face. So
We get an Avengers.
if we even get an Avengers, but at least somebody that's going to be challenging all these heroes, and like even like specifically like I don't think that like he's strong enough to like. I'm sure he could maybe take out both of these Lokis, like Loki and Sylvie, and whoever else they have join them in this last fight. If Kid Loki comes along, like I don't think they're really a match for Kang, but like
Yeah.
Doctor Strange and Wanda, he's fucked. You know what I mean? Like he's gonna get shit on.
Maybe, but Wanda still has a lot to learn about her powers as well, and
Yeah.
Doctor Strange, who knows what he's been doing at that time. And
Yeah.
plus, he might be busy helping, Peter Parker in the Spider-Man
Yeah.
movie as well. So we don't know what the hell that's going to happen there yet.
Yeah.
You know,
Well,
I mean, sure, there is a possibility that they can all just come together and try to fight him for sure. But we still have to get to see what happens in these other events of these other main Marvel movies,
yeah,
pretty much.
that's fair.
But this pretty much just is like a stepping thing. This what could happen. This what could lead to, whatever.
Yeah, absolutely. It just so I think there's a couple different ways that I think we see like a fracture of the multiverse in this last episode. Like I want to say I can even guarantee it. Not to sound too much like Charles Barkley, but I'm gonna guarantee it.
Yeah, but most of his guarantees are not correct sometimes.
Yeah,
He was
exactly.
right.
That's why
He was right a couple times earlier though.
Yeah,
No.
he got like most of the Hawks in the Bucks series right, but
Mhm.
he's pretty bad at guessing. But that's what I'm gonna guess, and if it's wrong, I blame Charles Barkley. Is that we get a multiverse fracture?
You better add him at Twitter.
I will.
better
I'll
add
clip
him.
this right now. And if we if that's what happens, then I'm blaming him. But
Yeah.
or if that's what doesn't happen, I'm sorry. Because it just seems like that's where they're going with this. Is they're gonna fracture the multiverse in Loki, and then the repercussions are gonna be felt like by. I don't think we get like a
Yeah.
Cumberbatch cameo or anything like that. I think the like end credits cameo, if we don't see Kang here, is Kang. It's just I just don't know how this like final fight goes down, and who it's against if it's not Kang.
So I just read an article while you were rambling here.
Okay.
Well, not rambling, but saying stuff. And it's a breakdown of what this castle and or prison could be.
Okay.
So people are trying to say that it's probably a castle, which it probably is.
Yeah.
I'm just saying that it kind of looks like more like a prison because of the watchtower.
Yeah.
The watchtower itself is more prison-y looking than it is castle looking. But theory one is Castle Doom. I don't see that.
No, that's too far out.
Well, he has no relevance in being in Loki.
In this story at all. Yeah, he's not.
Yeah. Theory 2 is Castle Limbo, which is the King the Conqueror.
Yep.
Or Theory 3, which is I like the best, is Castle Loki. And it's just a really broody Loki that's been controlling everything.
Yeah, that's actually, yeah, I mean, obviously.
That could be, they could probably go that route, but I think they might do Castle Limbo. But I wouldn't be surprised if they do another Loki thing. Saying,
but based off of like how many Lokis they've already shown and all that kind of stuff, like it would just make sense.
Yeah,
if it's another Loki
if they do
controlling things at the end of time.
Yeah, it would be a true testament to like the character development of the 2012 Loki and how quickly he's progressed to wanting to be a better person. More specifically, like how he's fallen in love with Sylvie. And like a testament to their love and how powerful it is when they defeat this guy.
Well, and then when he was like, "What are you gonna do after this?" and she's like, "I don't know," blah 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 blah, and he's like, "Well, I don't know what I'm gonna do either. Maybe we can do it together." Like, try like,
yep.
Like, I just think that maybe they just take over this Castle Loki, if that's what it is, and kick out this broody Loki who maybe did what boastful Thor said that he did, and take all the Infinity Stones and put on the gauntlet, and maybe this one actually did all that.
And his snap like breaks the whole universe, or?
And his snap was, "I want to control the universe."
Oh god.
Maybe.
I mean, it's probably not going to be exactly like that, but like maybe it was a nod to what boastful Thor said he did.
Yeah.
Boastful Loki.
Or boastful Loki.
That's actually a good theory. I like that a lot.
But like,
shit.
What is it? So.
Wow.
Loki and Sylvie may be neither. It may be neither Castle Doom or Castle Limbo, but actually Castle Loki. A roost occupied by another variant so recluse and so brooding that he lives in a gothic castle by himself. Don't tell me that Loki wouldn't be doing that. That's what it says in the...
What if...
Certainly this would be make more sense than teasing new villains for Marvel movies than any that have nothing to do with Loki.
True.
And with the show being called Loki, it just makes sense.
Remember
that it's just another Loki variant.
Remember that conversation they had at the TVA? Mobius said they brought in Titans, vampires. It's like a vampire Loki.
Well, maybe not even a vampire Loki, but like that I think was teasing Blade because we know Blade is coming.
Okay.
Yeah.
Never mind. That could be just a tease to Blade. Yeah.
Well, it's probably a tease to Blade and a little bit of Morbius.
Yeah.
Not that Morbius is really like in the MCU, but at least like we know that those two movies are coming and they're both vampires.
Yep.
So
they'll probably cross over. There's a good chance.
What did we said?
Yeah. No.
We brought in Titans. We brought in
Titans.
It was 3 things.
Yeah, it was. I don't remember the other one. I think it was...
It was gods? Maybe? I don't know.
No, because he said,
Heroes.
how come 2 demigods are giving us so much trouble?
I don't remember.
I'm just like googling a piece of the quote. Kree. It was Krees.
Oh, okay.
Kree Titans Vampires. Yeah.
Okay, so that was kind of, yeah, that didn't really do much.
No.
But yeah, I don't know. Like, it would just make sense for it to be another Loki. Just like,
Yeah. Absolutely.
because remember Richard E. Grant, he even said that once he got lonely enough, he decided to start doing something, and then once
Yeah.
he decided to take his first step on getting off the planet that he was hanging out on, that's when
There
the
was
TVA snatched him up.
That's when the branch started.
Yeah.
Because he just, like, his whole life up until that point planned to just be a recluse and never influence anyone's life. And then he's like, man, it's been hundreds and thousands of years. I want to go see my brother. What harm
So
would it
maybe
be?
this one is similar to that Richard E. Grant one. So maybe they can use Richard E. Grant
Oh,
again
that'd be so fucked, dude.
as the Loki.
As that.
Like, instead of just having him in for 2 episodes, they have him in for 3 episodes.
Yeah.
Or what if it's just Kid Loki the whole time?
Oh, no. No.
Like Agatha. Like Agatha the whole time. It was Kid Loki the whole time.
That would be
No.
messed up. There's no way, though.
No, Kid Loki's
And they redeem him.
not really. I don't see that happening.
And then he goes and hangs out with the Young Avengers.
That'd be messed.
No, I don't. After watching this, I don't
There's
see
no
Kid
way.
Loki in the Young Avengers
There's no
after these
way
events.
he could be that powerful.
I don't see Kid Loki in the Young Avengers. I could be wrong, but after this, I don't see him. After these events, I
could
don't see him.
I
I
could see
don't.
Gator Loki with the Young Avengers.
I could see
Maybe
Gator
one.
Loki with the Animal Avengers.
There you go.
With Throg. Somehow he gets off the planet. Eh.
Well,
Poor
so,
Throg, like he's just chilling
Yeah.
down there. He's like, yeah, I'm just grabbing them, trying to grab the
And
hand.
Hawkeye, the real Hawk. And Falcon, he's a real Falcon.
he's a real Falcon. Oh god, that'd be fantastic.
Captain America's a big bald eagle.
But Iron Man.
That'd be great.
Iron Man, he's I don't know. He's a
Be a hippo.
or
No,
or
Why not?
maybe
I
a
don't-
dog.
maybe a dog.
Oh god.
Like a dog that like built his own suit.
Yeah,
Iron
not?
Doggo.
there you go.
Iron Doggo. I like that. Yeah, so obviously we're gonna get some crazy finale. Do you guys, if you had to flip a coin, let me find that. Where is it? Flip a coin. If you had to flip a coin, heads being the multiverse stays intact, and there's no big structural damage to the whole of the MCU, or tails, hey, it does. Which side of the coin are you on?
Tails.
I think
Heads.
I think tails. I think they destroy the fuck out of the multiverse.
I don't think so.
I think that I don't know if we're gonna see Kang, or if the boss fight's gonna he's already okay. To put this into perspective, let's talk about Elias job and being like the guard dog, being Cerberus for Hell. He's there specifically to guard this. King is probably
Maybe Elias is actually just another version of Fenrir.
Oh, like the dead version of Fenrir.
Yeah, maybe.
I don't know.
I don't know. My brain is racking this Loki. It's just another Loki,
The Loki
and
connections.
it's making so much sense that
Yeah.
it's just another Loki.
I mean, it
Like-
does make sense, but I feel like they're gonna get heavy. They might get a little bit criticized for saying, "Oh, it's just another Loki, big deal."
Yeah, it would be
But
like
But the whole point is that it's the character character
contrast.
contrasts
Or
of all these
foils.
different Lokis,
Yeah.
and also like the
Which in general, I
character
would have no
growth
problem with
of
it if it's
our
another
normal
Loki.
Loki. Like,
Yeah.
like, and it would also like throw everybody off because everybody's like on this King the
Yeah.
Conqueror train.
Yeah.
Like,
Yep.
they're like, oh, it's King, it's King, it's King. King's ruling the TVA.
Yeah.
When it's actually just Loki ruling the TVA, and the reason why they're after all these Lokis is because the only person that can stop a Loki is a Loki.
Is a Loki.
Yep.
Yep.
Which is fair. Which I have no problem with. You know,
The
like
only
I said, it
person
could
that
be
a
the way.
Loki is worried about is another Loki,
Yeah.
and that's maybe why he decided they decided that female Loki, that's weird. Let's get rid of her right away. She
Yeah.
doesn't have illusion magic. She's got enchantment magic. That can be a big problem. Let's get rid of her right away.
Yeah.
Like,
Yep.
or I guess it's conjuration, man. Illusion and conjuration. I guess our Loki, our 2012/2023,
Yeah.
whatever it is, like that Loki,
Yeah.
we've seen him do 3 different magics now:
Yeah. Yep.
illusion,
Well,
conjuration, and
And
enchantment.
now enchantment. Yeah.
Well, he just won enchantment.
Yeah.
The
But he
illu-
knows how to do it now.
yeah, what were the other two?
So illusion and conjuration.
Yeah.
So he
Okay.
conjured the blanket.
Yeah. Okay.
Illusions is like when he's like
He's always
he's always done, like
Yeah.
slipping through
Yeah.
like
Switching people's perspective to like see something else
yeah.
by
Yes.
changing himself. You know.
And then he
Mhm.
helped Sylvie with the enchantment magic.
Yep.
So
Okay.
I guess we've technically also seen him do evocation. That's when he did that like green fire blast.
Yep.
To the TV
Right.
or the train station guy.
Yep.
Yeah.
Maybe this Loki is just really good at magic.
He is.
Harkening back into the whole Loki's the Sorcerer Supreme.
Yep.
But
So
he's not the Sorcerer Supreme. But he could be.
No.
he could be.
I mean, could be. Yeah, there's a chance he could be, but yeah. I feel like he doesn't care about too much about the magic or his trickery. He just cares about ruling his own damn world or universe per se.
I think when he said that in this episode, he was kind of saying it facetiously,
Yeah.
where he was like, "Oh, I could rule a country." Like, I don't think he wants that anymore.
No, he doesn't.
No,
He's grown a lot.
throughout the series, he's slowly just having a change of heart, which I did say before. He's slowly gonna have a change of heart,
Mm-hmm.
and it's already kind of happening because he cares more about Sylvie now, per se. Now he wants to do something better for his own purpose, like this and that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
He's grown a lot.
Yeah, he's kind of like slowly maturing to become the Loki that we saw at the end of at the beginning of
end of-
Infinity War.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
I
right,
think
right,
he's even
right,
better
right.
than that one now too.
Yeah, he's much.
He
he's-
could be.
I think he's
I thi-
grown. I mean, it's because he's spent more time with people in like a one-on-one setting, like where he's
Mhm.
like forced to like. In the past, like he's like around like Thor and Jane, and they're like doing their own thing, and he's just kind of like, okay. And then in Ragnarok, he's spending time with the Grandmaster, who's super superficial, and he doesn't really give a fuck about anything except for his fights. He's like, oh, I'm just gonna sit here and watch these things, and Loki just like just skates by. But then like the time he does spend with Thor, you see their connection grow. So then he's like spent all this one-on-one time with Mobius and learning what he cares about, and like trying to grow, and then one-on-one time with Sylvie. I think that's just what's more meaningful to him, is like feeling a connection, which he doesn't
Yeah.
ever really get to feel unless he's in the moment. Essentially what I wanted to get to was Alioth is this like Cerberus gatekeeper dog. There's Kang is probably, if it's Kang, if it's not Kang and it's the Loki theory that we're talking about, this will go completely different. But because it's probably Kang, this like final scene is them walking into this prison. Maybe there's a couple booby traps, but Kang probably doesn't think there's like too much to like put up with. So then there's like some like another sort of like challenger there. What if it's a different version of Thor, or the kid Thor that got killed, or something like that? Or maybe it's like multiple, or maybe it's Hela or whatever, maybe there's like multiple people that they end up having to face, Like
Flashbacks?
if it's
Maybe.
like Loki and Sylvie, they have to fight somebody, or if it's like Kid Loki, then you get the kid version of Thor,
If
and they have to.
if it's King, it would make more sense for it to be another version of Ravonna, Ravonna,
Yeah.
or Renslayer. It would make more sense for it to be another Renslayer
Okay.
or something else
Yeah.
that like TVA wise.
I just don't think the TVA will. Well, I mean, Renslayer's obviously committed to coming there and solving stuff, but
Oh, we'll see Renslayer and Mobius again in episode 5, probably
yeah.
at this castle.
episode 6.
Or
Yeah,
episode 6.
yeah.
At this castle. Helping the two Lokis fight whatever they're fighting.
Yeah.
And I don't see Renslayer helping if it's
She would,
anything other than a Loki running it.
Yeah, you're right. I just don't see her like. I see her like showing up after it.
Maybe.
I don't know.
But like I feel like Mobius is gonna go in there. Mobius is gonna talk her down. Mobius is gonna be like, "Wow, Ravonna, like
Wow.
you've done a real shitty thing having me pruned like that." Like,
Yeah.
like talking to her, telling her.
Yeah, I was waiting for that moment, bro. I'm just waiting for that moment. That wow.
He's got to have one wow in the series, right?
Yeah,
They
he
said he
has to.
doesn't.
I know he had a
They're both-
now, like
Yeah.
he emphasized this now as if it was like a wow, but like he's got to have a wow. Like there's no like I don't know. I guess there is a way that like Marvel's like saying, no, you don't get a wow, and he's probably saying I don't really want a wow, but like he's
Yeah.
got to have a wow. Like
Yeah.
like Marvel and him aren't above poking fun at themselves.
No, they aren't.
No.
No, they absolutely aren't.
Like he's got to have a wow. Like maybe when he's stepping through the portal to see this this castle, he's like, wow.
I was halfway expecting like a Lightning McQueen car. Like when he like rolled up in the car, like he saw the car in the
Pizza
distance.
car,
I
yeah.
was like, oh, it's
Yeah.
a shot of a car. I was like, it's gonna be Lightning McQueen.
Well, I think even the pizza car was a nod to the Pixar pizza truck.
Yeah.
Yep.
It was. But
But-
yeah, no, I
Pizza
would-
Planet.
Yeah, Pizza Planet.
Pizza Planet.
But I just don't see Ravonna, or I'm just gonna call her Renslayer because I don't think I'm saying her
Yeah.
first name.
No, you are. You
I
are.
just
Yeah.
I just don't
Yeah, you
see
just say Renslayer. That's fine.
I just don't see Renslayer going in there and like stopping or
Yeah.
helping if it's anything other than a Loki controlling everything.
Yeah.
If it's not, then she's gonna try to like I don't know. She wants to know what's going on. I'm pretty sure Mobius is just gonna go in there and be like, okay, here's what's going on. Like, I'm gonna burn the TVA down. We're gonna go help these Lokis. I know where they are because I know their temporal signature. Here they are. Boom, let's go. Like, and
Yeah.
somewhere in there convince Renslayer to help.
Yeah.
Like, she's gonna be a helping hand. I don't see her being a villain in the final episode.
Yeah.
She'll still have like her ideas,
Yeah.
but she's not going to be the villain in the final episode
Yeah.
because she's trying to figure things out too. Like
Yeah,
that's
she
the whole
is.
thing. So I don't know.
Yeah.
That's
it's
just
gonna
my idea. I feel like it's going to be a Loki, and it just doesn't make sense for her to help
be,
if it's King.
Yeah, because
Because
why
if
would
it's
she
King,
fight
then
him?
she's going to be like, oh,
What a
well, this guy's
brilliant-
pretty hot. Like,
What a
Guys,
brilliant robot, man. Yeah, no, I'm just trying to
Yeah.
think of like ways that they like could like even just like trick us all, and I'm like coming up with this idea that like Kang is already a TVA agent, so they go and say this is a Loki. I'm just like to ride with your theory. It is a Loki controlling this, who's done all this. They defeat him, destroy the fucking time house that he's in, break up all the timelines. The future becomes uncertain and anything can happen. and unleashes all these threats, and because of that, like the TVA still needs to exist. So like Mobius and Renslayer are still like gonna be at the TVA and starting to run things, but all the TVA agents get their memories back, and one of
They're allowed
those
to.
TVA agents is Kang,
Maybe.
and we get Jonathan Majors like he gets his mind cleared. He's like, oh my god.
Well,
Holy
that
fuck, this is
actually
all
makes a
real.
lot of sense, and
And
then
then
he takes over
he
the
has
quantum realm,
yeah,
and that's why that's how we get the Quantum Mania movie,
Exactly.
the Ant-Man and the Wasp one.
exactly.
That makes a lot of sense to me, especially
good
with
theory.
Casey saying most of us use them as paperweights, and then he just
Yes.
kind of does like this like 1,000-yard stare, and he's like, most of us, like,
Most of it, yeah.
Yeah.
so maybe this Jonathan Majors was a TVA agent, somehow still has a little bit of his mind, or he's like, well, let me just build a Infinity Gauntlet for myself, like,
Yep. Yeah.
because it's cool. Maybe he has the same idea as like Renslayer. Like, you kind of keep like a little bit of your base personality, so like because his base personality is a little bit of like trying to take over the world. He's like,
Leadership.
well,
Yeah.
let me get these things.
Yeah. Well, like
So I have
even
one of
like,
each stone, and like blah blah blah. Like,
Yeah, King the Conqueror is even like sometimes like traced back to like King Tut or whatever from Egypt.
Yeah.
So like this variant of King Tut or
Rama
whatever. Like,
Ramasi,
yeah. Whatever they end up doing.
Ramatut.
Yeah. So like however they end up introducing Kang as a person, like where his variant is from, as like his background as a person, as a leader, and like he's just trying to like exemplify that as the new head of the TVA, and then he like gets super power hungry. He goes to the future. He meets maybe even like he is from the future. It's a variant of Nathaniel Richards who's been abducted because he like tried to kill Reed or something like that, and then they abducted him, wiped his brain, and now he's back. I mean, I really genuinely don't know how they're gonna proceed with the Fantastic Four and everything, because Kang's he was their like biggest, like that's a big Fantastic Four villain. So
That is, but they could probably do it. They could probably go a different route and not go with the King one. They
Yeah.
could just say, "Okay, King's not that." We could. They could do Doom, obviously, again.
yeah,
Which would be the smart and logical choice
yep,
per se.
do a new story sort of for him. Yep,
Yeah, a new story for Doom. A
Or
new
new
like mini
origin.
origin. For everyone, pretty much.
Yeah, no, you're right.
Just like a new clean slate for the Fantastic Four.
Yeah, I would love to see the
Because-
Fantastic Four fight Kang before they fight like Doom or anyone like that.
Yeah. Hmm.
Yeah, just to give us something new because we haven't seen.
Yeah. Well,
Kang
your
ever.
theory is not that far from being like that could actually happen
Yeah,
per
yeah.
se. But I still personally use that Renslayer could still be a double agent per
A
se. Like I
sleeper,
think she
yeah.
really, I think she really knows who's really behind the whole TVA. I
There's a
think she's
chance.
just playing.
She's playing
She's
dumb.
just playing Yeah,
Yeah.
she's just playing dumb, saying I don't know, I want to know. Maybe let's
Yeah.
find out.
Yeah,
You know.
yeah. There's
Because
a chance.
there's a reason why she's like somewhat like the boss of that
Yeah, no.
of the TVA kind of.
Somebody gave her that position for a reason. You know.
Mhm.
Yeah, you're not wrong. So who knows?
Yeah.
We'll have to see.
We have to see, but either way, it could go either way. It could be King or it could be another Loki. Either way, we're all going to be entertained with the final episode when it comes out next
And
week.
I don't think they can even do it wrong.
No.
I forgot to bring this up earlier. This feels the reveal is gonna like has me the most confused for like a super villain reveal since like season 3 of The Flash when it was Savitar. And everyone was very disappointed in it because it feels like sort of like a parallel almost too, where they took the whole season almost to reveal him, and then they reveal him with like the last little bit. And for this show, the way they've set it up and how like mysterious it's been the last 2 episodes more specifically, with like no one actually really knows what's going on, and then we're gonna get some actual like boom twists. Like it's gonna be so much different from the reveal of Savitar, where they like placed all these little clues that were supposed to be like you're supposed to look into everything, and they placed clues that it could have been multiple people. Is the thing. They like specifically planted evidence that it could have been like 3 or 4 different options. Not this is exactly who it's gonna be, and like slowly built up. Like it's slowly building up to like a Loki reveal, and that makes a lot of sense. But it's like, hey, who? No one really knows. Or it's building up to, Kang, which we are all like sort of expecting.
Yep.
But like we have no idea if we're even gonna see him because it's such a big thing to do. So
Yeah.
it's like either way, you have like 2 choices. It's very clouded on both ends. You don't know, and the reveal will be like worthwhile.
Yeah.
Whereas like
Yeah.
on the Flash, like people were like, oh, it's gonna be Robbie, Firestorm. Oh, it's gonna be Grant Gustin, the Flash. It's gonna be a future version of Eddie. It's gonna be Jay Garrick. It's gonna be like people had like 18 different theories of who it could have been, and then like I remember like the second or the episode like prior to the reveal, they did this little teaser where Caitlin went like Killer Frost mode and turned evil against Team Flash and like left the facility and then met up with Savitar, and then like he got out of his suit and she's like, oh my god, yeah, I'll help you, kind of like we're gonna team up kind of thing. And everybody just like instantly was like, yep, nope, it's gonna be Robbie as Firestorm 100%, and the suit's the thing that's giving him powers, and everybody was like locked onto that. And then the very next episode there was like maybe like 2 people that I remember. Like Emergency Awesome was like one of the only people that like was like, yes, no, this is still gonna be the future version of the Flash. Like it's gonna be Barry Allen. He was the only person that like stuck with that. Like Pagey and like a bunch of other theorists were like, yeah, it's gonna be Robbie. It's gonna be him. Like I'm almost certain now. It like makes so much sense, and it really didn't. There was that one piece of evidence that like influenced people to think that way. Like there's no factors like that in this series, as like, oh, it's gonna be this certain person based on this quote that was said or this interaction. So we really don't know, and it's also like we don't think it's no one thinks it's gonna be Thor. No one thinks it's gonna be Odin. So like if there was a reveal like that, it'd be like fucking insane. It's not like 16 different people that have been guessed at in the reveal between the 2 people, 2 most likely choices is gonna be super rewarding.
You do have a valid point. I mean, even with that reveal with the Flash, everyone was saying this and that. No one knows.
Yeah.
But yeah, very valid point. You got a valid point. Who knows who it could be?
Yeah, and
Yeah,
it's
but
also,
like I said,
it's also a short season too. That plays a big piece into it. It's like if they had introduced whoever this villain is going to be earlier, like it's like the title of this episode is The Journey into Mystery. Like it's still a mystery to everybody, kind of. Like we have a very good one singular guess for most of the series, but now there's like a sort of second option, whereas like the Flash was like a 23 episode series, and 19 episodes in we still didn't know who the fuck it was. And so then episode 20 comes out. There's 20, 21, 22, and 23, 4 episodes to reveal the villain and explain his whole backstory. Whereas like this Loki theory, you've already been talking the whole series about what makes a Loki a Loki. And I mean, if it's Kang the Conqueror, they have more time to explore a brand new character in the future. This is somebody that like the Flash pushed, like, oh, you should know this character and its motives after 1 season, and like very little clues, very little hints, and no sort of like discussion about it. So yeah, it's very different to me.
It is.
I mean, maybe it just comes down to the execution of it, because it wasn't terrible
True.
on the Flash.
No.
But like this feels so much more rewarding, and we don't even have it yet.
Marvel's gonna do a better job though. But like I said, the Arrowverse, they did a good job as well on some of these villains that they did before. Even though we are going a little bit off topic, but hey, it's whatever.
No, it's okay.
But yeah, but
I think it's
we'll
relevant.
we'll see what happens. It's relevant, yeah. But we'll see what happens, though. We'll see what happens.
Yeah. Is there anything that you guys have to add to this episode about theory-wise stuff? I think that's pretty much everything.
Yeah.
Dylan looks like he's doing more research on something, so...
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been reading like all these different things,
Oh, gosh.
trying to figure stuff out.
Okay.
Regardless, we're gonna get a file. Like
A bit-
what I'm getting from all of these things that I'm reading is that no matter what, we're getting the Fantastic Four.
Obviously.
Well, it's
Um,
in the works.
but even these like could be Castle Doom or it could be
Yeah.
Castle like it's all intertwined.
Or
So King the Conqueror is Nathaniel Richards,
Yeah.
Nathaniel Richards, who is Reed Richards' father,
His father?
his father or grandfather, depending on
Yeah, the
like
story.
depending on the story. But like from what I've been reading, it's King the Conqueror is Nathaniel Richards, who is Reed Richards' father and or grandfather.
Okay.
Most of the time, it's father. Who is also Ramatut.
Yep.
Who is also this entity called the Warlord, who is also a Doctor Doom, who is also like,
Oh, God.
yeah,
Yeah, no,
Like-
all the storylines are pretty, like, interchangeable, who they want to throw characters where, especially, like, the story where
but
becomes
he
Dr.
turns
Doom.
into a Doctor Doom after a while. Once like when Victor Von Doom like goes away and does
Yeah.
whatever he does.
Whenever they
Because
kill
Doom
him
does
off or whatever.
Doom does whatever he does.
Yeah.
But he does turn into a Doctor Doom, which I mean that's one way of doing it without being Victor Von Doom is
Yeah.
having it being this
Well,
Nathaniel Richards.
Kang's armor is, like, super complex from the future, like,
Yeah.
futuristic technology, and sometimes it's even stolen from the future, so...
But I don't know. If
Like,
it's
Franklin
it's King,
Richards-
then well Franklin Richards is just Franklin Richards.
Yeah.
He's ridiculous.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Most powerful mutant of all times.
Yeah. I mean, like, Franklin Richards and Reed Richards' power sets are time travel, and if
Well, not Reed's. Reed's just super smart.
Reed...
Yeah.
Wait, I thought Reed... No, I mean, like, Reed
No.
knows how to time travel, essentially, though.
He
Like,
knows
he's-
how.
He knows. That's
he
what I'm
he
saying.
just has to build this.
Yeah, he has to
the
build
things.
technology too. So
Yeah.
that's what I'm getting at. Is like their stories are super interconnected with time in the quantum realm all the time. So like we're going to get them eventually, and this will I don't think we'll see them in this, but they'll definitely be intertwined somehow. I don't think we get name drops, but like
Yeah, I mean,
This-
they could probably say, there's only two person in the entire universe or another universe that are able to do this.
yeah,
Two people, or two men or two father or something. They could just mention or whoever.
yeah. So yeah, they're gonna come into play. I mean, maybe not Franklin, but at least Reed Richards and the Fantastic Four will come into play very soon. I just that's bound to happen in this reveal. Whoever it is, and however they explain the backstory, if we even
Well,
get that,
Well, it's just either way they do it. If it's King, either way they do it, it would make sense. Like if it's another Loki, like that makes a lot of sense for this story.
Yep.
If it's King, it makes sense for the overarching Marvel as a whole.
Yep.
Like,
Yep.
and then that helps bring in a whole bunch of different other franchises.
Yep, and
Like-
a bunch of newly acquired projects like the Fantastic Four. It
Yeah.
just sets the tone.
So no matter what, it would make sense for them to do it. I'm still on the this is a Loki train after
yeah,
that,
even after
like,
reading that,
but yeah.
that's more than fair.
If it isn't ugly, no problem, no big
I
deal.
think it goes.
Obviously the whole Loki shenanigans. But yeah, either
No-
way, they
no
go
matter what,
two ways.
the series has been good and I've enjoyed it.
Exactly. all that
And
matters.
if it's something that we've come up with, or like that
We're proud
happens
of
to be true, then
ourselves.
heck yeah. If it's something that
Nice.
totally blows us out of the way, like
then Marvel, great job. Yeah,
Yeah,
there's
like-
nothing that they can do wrong here. Whereas, like I was saying about The Flash, they executed it horribly. They went 19 episodes out of 22, 23, teasing somebody. Oh, it's gonna be somebody. We're giving you the clues. You'll figure it out. And then they just disappointed everybody by the reveal. Had too few episodes to actually explain the intentions. Whereas, if it's Loki, they've already explained to Loki's intentions and thought process through the entire episode.
I mean, they
And
keep
if it's-
harkening back to this
Yeah.
glorious purpose.
And if they
So,
go
like-
back to, and if they go forward and make it Kang, they have plenty of time to develop it. So like, there's no hit or miss here.
I think it's Loki, personally.
Yeah,
Like,
I'm
it's always
veering
been
towards
and
that.
always is Loki's. That's why the show is called Loki. That's why there's so, like, we've seen
Four
how many
different
Lokis
logos.
now. Well, we see,
Too many to count, really.
yeah. I don't know. There's been 12 different
One-
L's, like 12 different
Yeah.
O's, 12
Yeah.
different K's, like 12 different I's that we've seen. Like,
Yep.
so like clearly the whole show is just saying that everything's Loki. Like, it was Loki the whole time, guys.
Yep.
We just need a song, an Agatha Harkness song, but it was Loki the whole time.
Loki all along. Agatha Harkness is secretly just Loki.
There you
I
go.
mean, maybe.
Or it's Mephisto. There you go.
There
Yep.
it is.
Castle
There it is.
Mephisto.
Yep, there you go. Castle
Castle
Mephisto the whole
Mephisto.
time. He's,
I don't know.
Yeah.
Personally, I think it's Loki. Where are you at on this, William? Who do you think it is?
Yeah, if you had to flip a coin to go back to it, flip a coin. Which side of the coin? are you on?
I did said heads, so I think I'm gonna go with King on
You
this
think
one.
it's King?
King.
Yeah, I believe it's King.
King the Conqueror.
It's
Yeah.
King, you know.
I genuinely, just because of the Ramona connection, the TVA, them being probably in Chronopolis, the TVA, you know, it just
Mhm.
feels like Kang to me. That's what it's been leading up to. But I also am not afraid to admit that it's very likely that it could be Loki. Like, if I had to like split like where I was at probability wise, it'd probably be like 60-40 in like favor of Kang. Where like I think it's a 40% chance we get a Loki. 66 it could go either way.
gonna
It's
be-
not. I'd say it's close. I'm closer to like thinking it's Kang than Loki, but it's like close to 50-50 as well for me.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with 40. I'm gonna go with 50-40. I believe 50%
With a
is
10%
King.
variance of
10%
something else.
of something else. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, it could be.
It's not
Who
bad.
knows? But yeah,
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with 50-40. Yeah, it could be like it
Okay.
could be a big surprise, or it could be the obvious choice, King or Loki, pretty
Yeah.
much.
Yeah. See, yeah, that's pretty solid. I think it's got to
Yeah.
be one of the two.
Like,
Or we don't see. I mean, like, we could also have like this final fight where it's other like variants fighting them for
Yep.
whoever, you know, it is, either one, you know. Or I
Like-
guess that would happen more just for Kang, but
I'm like 45% sure it's Loki, like 25% sure that it's Kang, and then, you
Yeah.
know.
like, imagine it is like another Loki variant, and he's like abducted, like a Thor variant, a Hela variant, and a Fenrir, or even Heimdall, or something like that, and that's who they have to
I
fight
don't
at the
see.
end.
Yeah, I don't see either a Thor or a Hela, or Fenrir variant in the next final episode. I think it's more just gonna be maybe illusion wise, maybe, but who knows?
What if it's just Tony Stark all along?
Oh yeah,
It's
why not?
Tony Stank. It's Tony Stank, the variant.
Yeah.
The variant of Tony Stark is Tony Stank,
Yeah.
and that's why he's got all this. Yeah, you know, I don't know, guys.
I got all this technology in the world.
We've talked
Oh man.
so much about it.
Jeez.
Have we though?
Yeah, we've been on this for a while.
Yeah. It's been an hour. So, yeah, no, those are all very good points to make, guys. I think we're on the right track, or one
Yep.
of two tracks at least.
Yeah.
We're on.
There's a two-way, you know.
We're on both tracks, and only one of them has a train. Is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah. Yep.
There's
Yeah.
5 people on one track and 1 person on another track.
Oh god.
Which track do you put your train down?
Oh god. Not the trolley problem.
This is a really easy answer. You move the 1 person from the 1 side to the 6th side and make the train go to the 6th side.
Wow, that's 6 cents. Just kidding.
Or you do this. You destroy those 2 tracks and you make 1 track for the Mephisto. Let's go.
Oh, the Mephisto train.
Mhm.
Anyways, yeah, no, I think that's all we got for this week's episode.
Yep.
Please go ahead and start watching our new series. It's called How Bad Was It? Where we go back and we review all of the Marvel movies. We just reviewed Iron Man last week. This week we're going to review the Hulk. The
Yep,
Incredible
there it
Hulk
is.
movie. That,
Yep.
had
Well, so hold on.
Edward Norton.
I do have a complaint though. Disney Plus, what the fuck? You
Yeah.
said we were supposed to have every Marvel movie, and no
Yeah.
Hulk on Disney Plus. What the fuck?
Yeah, Disney Plus does not feature the Incredible Hulk, so I'm actually gonna go steal that from Dylan here in a minute and watch it.
I'll probably end up watching it either on Amazon or YouTube.
Yeah.
I'll decide which one.
Just rent it, and then I'm gonna watch that later today. I'm gonna
Yeah,
watch
so Disney
the
Plus, yeah, better add Hulk in that thing. Because the man gave his
Tomorrow-
the man gave his arm for us.
He gave his arm. Dang.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wonder if the reason why they haven't is because they're trying to like digitally superimpose Ruffalo over top of it and make it look
Oh,
good.
dude, that'd be crazy. They just completely erase Edward Norton from the face of MCU.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Probably.
That's probably why it's not on there, is because it's not Mark Ruffalo.
Yeah.
So like
Oh,
they
no.
don't want to confuse people.
Confuse people that weren't
Probably.
into Marvel back
Yeah.
then. They're like, why is the Incredible Hulk not? Yeah, probably something like that.
Yeah.
But we have that series out. We're going to be reviewing one Marvel movie in release order
Next.
through the end
Yep.
of the year, and letting
Yep.
you know how bad we thought it was, or how
Yep.
good it was.
Yep.
And then we have episode 6 of Loki coming out next week. I'm also going to be watching the Tomorrow War tonight. We might do a video on that. And then Invincible as soon as... Have you started watching it at all, William?
You totally forgot about it.
That's okay. We'll eventually do some videos on Invincible, and then that's what we got lined up for right now. So thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. Leave a comment down below. We read them all, and sometimes we'll respond to you as long as you don't tell us to watch movies about Syrian wars and ISIS. Even then, we
Also,
might
please follow
respond.
Also please follow our social media
I'll
platforms
write
as
down
well.
here.
Do not be afraid to interact with us, or leave a comment saying, what you guys think about, where do we
Let us
suck,
know what we
or
can
where
do
do
to
we
get better.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like-
criticize us.
Tell us we suck ass.
Everything. If you have criticism, let it be constructed criticism.
Yeah. Let us know. What
So
do
so
better
we can
nicely.
we can get better. Like if you like we wanna make this as best and enjoyable for you guys.
And if not, we'll just prune each and every one of you. How about that?
Yeah. There we go.
I think that's where we end. Bye guys.
Bye.